probably the thing that people remember the most with ECW is after you had won the title.
Yeah.
You left to go to WCW.
Right.
And I'm guessing, based upon our conversation, you're saying you left because you didn't have a contract. Or you felt you didn't have
right. No, I did not have a contract.
And you still have their world belt.
At that time,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had their belt. Basically, I was driving to the show, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? We did not get paid last week. We're not getting paid this week. What's going on? Why do they keep missing our paydays? They just kept, we get paid sporadically.
Right.
And just kept missing paydays and missing paydays. And I was like, thinking, what did I do? I left my job in Japan for this? I just bought the house that I'm doing this interview in right now. I started thinking, oh my gosh, I'm not even going to be able to make my mortgage payments. So I was talking to Horace actually on the telephone, and he said, Mike, he goes, what are you doing? He goes, I can't believe you're doing that. He goes, I got Hulk Hogan right next to me. Boom, he hands the phone to Hogan. Hogan gets on the phone with me. Brother, what are you doing? You can't be working for free. He goes, just turn around, and if I was you, I'd take my ass home. Basically, that's what I did. I turned around and went home. Mm-hmm. And from there, started talking with Bischoff and Russo. And you know what happened then? Got a job. Mm-hmm. Then Paul and all the legal wranglings came down on me. And if I had a contract with Paul, I would not have been able to go to WCW. So,
what was your solution? Did you just want to get the belt back because you didn't have a contract, or?
Yeah, I could care less about the belt. I mean, the belt
so
really.
Belt, yeah.
While I was there, and even though I was the champion, it's cool to be the champion. That's not everything. Being able to provide for your family is number one, actually. Mm-hmm. So the belt meant absolutely nothing at that point because I wasn't providing properly for my family. And I felt like I'd made a bad career move by leaving Japan.
And I'm sure you've heard the criticism, and everybody talked about the story.
Oh, yeah, sold out.
I want you to tell me your side of the story.
My side of the story, basically, like I told you, could not provide for my family, wasn't getting paid, basically. The checks just weren't coming in the way they were supposed to. All the promises that were made were not coming to.
I meant I'm sorry, I should make
okay.
Your side of the story when you went back to drop the title to Taz.
Okay.
Because they said, it was reported that you sat outside the front, you did not go in the locker room.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't allowed in the locker room. Paul did not allow me in the locker room. I had a piece of paper that was faxed to me from Paul's attorney telling exactly what would go on. They said that they would have a hotel room, which they did not, and I didn't want their hotel room anyways. They said they had the match lined out exactly how they wanted the match. They wanted me to be waiting outside until it was time for me to enter the ring and come in through the front door. They didn't want me in the dressing room. They didn't want any problems. Everything was being conducted by the lawyers at that point. So both sides just wanted to make sure everything was going to go right and go smooth. So. Did
you hear anything from people in the locker room, or do you think this was all just Paul?
Yeah, well,
because the ironic part, and I always thought that this might just be one of Paul's little angles to work everybody. Right. I mean, he built it up for a week, saying that he wasn't going to be in the locker room. He did this. Coincidentally, the house is packed.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, it was great. Even though everything that was going on, I loved it. It was great. Walking through that crowd, everybody chanting, "You sold out, you sold out." I felt good. I felt good about it. I knew I didn't sell out. I knew I just had to provide for my family, and if they knew what was going on, they'd have done the exact same thing I did. Mm-hmm. The only thing that I am disappointed about, I really wish that he would not have had me out there with this match laid out with Taz. I wish he would have stuck me out there with Rhino and allowed Rhino and I to come up, because I would have gave them a stellar performance. I would have went out there and I would have done it. I would have gave them a match of a lifetime if it could have been with somebody like Rhino, somebody that I trust and I know that would not try to hurt me on purpose out there. I couldn't trust Taz. When he hooked his finisher on me, I had my hand up there. I wasn't going to let him hook that finisher on me, choke me out. Get that. So, you look at the footage, you can see my hands up there. No way. I had to protect myself all the way. So, like I said, that's what I'm disappointed in. I really wish it was a match like with Rhino. About the only person at that time that I would have trusted from there.